Hi guys, 20hum here and welcome back to another YouTube video and another League of Legends video. Today we will be talking about the latest revealed champion, which is Ornn, the fire below the mountain. Now this is kind of a bit like out of the blue maybe, because even though there was a teaser on him a few days ago, the gap between Kayn and Ornn was a lot quicker than Rakan, Xayah and Kayn. Now whether that's because Rakan and Xayah are two champs, I don't know, but it was a very quick leap, and the more the merrier. But let's get into his abilities anyway. This is Ornn. He has horns, that's why his name is Ornn. Ornn the Horn is a bear. Right, the abilities. The passive, Living Forge and Master Craftsman. Living Forge. Hang on, before I read this, he gets two passives, but every other champ apart from Yasuo gets one. That is disgusting. Now you can tell he's kind of a dwarf person because he's a greedy thief. And let's read it through. But come on, right, two passives, that's bloody disgusting. I'm not having this. Right. Living Forge. Ornn can spend gold to forge items for himself anytime he's out of combat. For convenience, it's alright, it's very convenient then. Suggested items appear in a special on-screen menu. Well, you know what, right, thank you very much. For convenience, the suggested items appear in a special menu. Thank you, because, you know, I was finding League a very inconvenient game to play, but because of that menu, I'll definitely carry on playing. Good work, right. Ornn can also open the shop manually to build any item. Does that mean, like, if he's out in combat he doesn't need to back to go into the shop? Or does it just mean for his specific items, or what? We'll find out later, will we? Master Craftsman. Ornn and his teammates have access to special upgrades for select items in the shop. Each player is limited to one of these upgrades. I really like this passive. Let's just see the video. I like how it actually, like, it gives everyone something, you know, like a global passive sort of thing. There's no sound. Oh well, you don't need to hear a hammer. You've got my beautiful voice instead, like, what more could you ask for? Let's look at the queue. Volcanic Rupture. Let's have a mooch. Right, so Ornn slams the ground, sending out a fissure that deals damage and slows enemies. After a small delay, a magma pillar forms at the target location, functioning like a tiny wall for a few seconds. So let's watch that again. To me, it looks like you've got like a mini Brawlmalt that then turns into a mini Trundle. So it's a nice combination of two decent abilities. It's a good bit of range poke, CC. Potentially engage and like picking people off with that wall. We'll see how it works. The only problem is I feel like that delay, it looked a bit too much, like they could have walked away, but it depends how much it slows them. If it's a big slow, which it looks quite good, then yeah, that's it. They have to go around. It's an inconvenience, unlike that new menu that was given, which is for convenience and it's fixed the game. But yeah, that wall, that slow, it's going to be a bit of a shittle. Let's have a look at the W. Bellows Breath. Right. Looks half decancy. Let's have a look. Ornn becomes unstoppable, shields himself, and belches out flames. These flames deal a portion of the enemy's current health as magic damage. Enemies struck by the final gout of flame become brittle. Ornn's basic attacks knock back brittle targets. Brittle. When brittle, enemies suffer a portion of their max health as bonus damage when struck by immobilizing effects. Immobilizing effects also last longer when used on brittle enemies. Now I don't know if they're writing up the description of an ability or a dissertation at this point. JK, right, I digress. But no, it looks like a cool ability. So you get the tankiness, you get your CC, you get your damage. It's basically what any top laner needs and gets generally, isn't it? It's the bread and butter of a tank, and that's what Ornn is. He's not a mage, even though he does have Annie's W right here. Tibbers! No, he's not a mage. He's a tank, right? And I think what he does is he's a good tank. Let's have a look at the Searing Charge. Oh, it's a Malphite. Oh, okay, let's look at the ult. Call of the Forge God. Ah, that's nice. Ornn summons a massive fire elemental at a target location. It then travels towards him, increasing speed. Enemies run over the elemental, take over magic damage, and become brittle. Ornn can recast this ability to charge forward. If he strikes the elemental with the charge, he'll redirect it. The redirected elemental will then knock up all struck enemies, dealing the same damage as before, applied by the brittle effect. So let's have a mooch one more time. So it runs at you, they take the damage, they're slowed, it goes back, it does the knock, job's a good one. So it's like a bigger version of his W really, isn't it? But he's a lot like Braum, this guy, I find. Like, big tanky Freljordian geezer, comes along with his CC, slowing everyone, being a bit of a knob. And that's just the way the news goes. Let's go back to the E and actually have a look what it really does. Because undoubtedly that looks exactly like a Malphite ult, but let's read it. Ornn charges, dealing damage to enemies he passes through. If Ornn collides with terrain while charging, the impact creates a shockwave that deals damage and knocks enemies up. The ability destroys player-created terrain. Right, so it's a bit more of a conditional Malphite ult, like you can't just fly in and get everyone knocked up. You have got to collide with the terrain, and it destroys zones. So you could be like QE, and then you'll destroy that bit of pillar, but there's that terrain there that they've collided with. So I'm guessing that's why it does that. So you'd like plop the Q down, fly them into it, and then do your average Annie W. But yeah, looks like a pretty decent champ, not gonna lie, to be fair, not gonna lie. Yeah, I like it. I think definitely looks more easy than other champs that Riot have pumped out, but that's what we need sometimes, isn't it? Nice bit of easiness for the noobs and such. Let's have a look at some gameplay. Yeah, he did the E thing I was talking about. He actually pumps out quite a lot of damage, actually. Actually. To be fair. Is it just me, or do his horns look like tyres? Oh, the Anivia synergy. Very nice. I reckon, even though he's a top laner, he could go support as well. Let's have a look at the tips and tricks. Ornn's lane staying power is second to none, thanks to his ability to forge new items without returning to base. There we go then. So he doesn't need to back if you don't want to. That's very, very good. Oh, just look at, don't you think he's really cute? Like, look at that little face, like a little bear. Oh, he's adorable. He kind of reminds me of Torbjorn as well, like you've got the metal on the end of that bit. He's got the hammer and forge. He's like horny Torbjorn. Anyway, you'll want to study up on early game itemization options so you can quickly craft the right gear to counter your lane opponent. Since each of Ornn's allies can build one of the unique item upgrades, Ornn's teammates effectively have a higher gold cap than their opponents. Someone should tell Nasus there's a new late game god in town. Ha, good one, Riot. Real good jokes there, guys. Someone call up Nasus. You know what, guys? I'll call up Nasus for you. Don't worry. I'm on it right now. Let's call up Nasus. Just give me a sec. I'm just calling up Nasus. Hello? Hi Nessus, I've been told to tell you there's a new late game god in town. Yeah, his name's Ornn. Sorry to break this news to you like this over the phone, but I was told to call you up, so yeah. Nice. Thanks. Sorry for any inconvenience. I'll see you later, Ness. Bye. Bye. He was distraught. I had to hang up. I couldn't listen to his upsetness anymore. He was inconsolable that there's a new late game god in town. Oh, I can't handle this. Let's just see what else they've got in the tips and tricks. Maybe it'll cheer me up. Other champs who create terrain, Trundle, Azir, synergise extremely well with Ornn, since he can searing charge into... I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Poor Nasus, he was the late game god, and I've had to break the news to him over the phone nonetheless that there's a new late game god in town. I'm sorry, let's just quickly read on and end this video so I can go off the mic and sit down a bit. Likewise, alleys, yeah. Dark alleys in the back, like Poppy and Vayne, can pin opponents into Volcanic Rupture's pillar. He's got some good synergy and, you know, support again with the pillar and the Vayne and like what have you. Chances are though, if you've got an Ornn, you're not really going to have a Poppy because they're very similar. But you know, jobs are good in it at the end of the day. Maybe it'd be the enemy Poppy, Hammy Popper. Jobs are good in. Let's look at the extras. Right, so you got the splash art. That is very nice, very vibrant. I love the way there's the field of view, there's the distancing and the lovely little textures here and there. It's very nice work. I'll give it a B+. And then we've got this one here. Ooh, it's lightning. Now, that actually looks a lot like one of the champ teasers we had before that was like a leak that never actually happened. So maybe it's related. So we've got Molten Geezer and we got Lightning but looks a bit snowy Geezer. It's Thor. The new champion is Thor. I've cracked the case. We've got Thor on our hands. Right, I can end the video now. Thank you all for watching. This is Ornn, the fire below the mountain, or in this case, the lightning below the mountain. But nonetheless, it is Ornn. Thank you all for taking part in this journey to the mountain to see what we have in store. Oh look, he's got a little Ornn. Ornn's got Ornn, guys. He's a bit orny, isn't he? Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, ding that bell, and comment down below what you think of the new champion. But most importantly, wash your hands.